I was going to say, I grew up with a father in the Air Force. He retired as a colonel from the Air Force. And I would like to say to the military people, and then have this also maybe heeded by our police, the one thing that you really do need to study, because you're studying all kinds of things, but the one thing you really do need to study is go back and look at the quotes and the writings of the founding fathers. All right. Lincoln, who was not a founding father, but President Lincoln said that at the point where a government basically goes against its own people, and I think it's Lincoln, so I don't have the quotes with me right now, we have a right to change the people in the government or the government. And there are other quotes that tell you the individual in the Constitution is prime. It is everything about individual rights, not hive-minded obedience, because that's why all of our ancestors came here from Europe, to get away from hive-minded obedience and to put the individual first. Why do we put the individual first? Because if we are not trampling the rights of one solitary individual, then we will not be trampling the rights of a group of people, maybe a minority, maybe a majority. So you need to go back and verse yourself on what this country was founded on, the philosophy of it, and the conscience that comes with this unique experiment in government. Because if you look at our ancestry, if you look at our heritage, you will understand that if you're being driven into a hive-minded, brainless obedience of authority, this is not American philosophy. You are adhering to foreign philosophy, which is something the founding fathers warned against. So you need to make sure that you are, in your service to your country, upholding the principles upon which this constitutional republic was founded. It's not a democracy, because if 51 people say we want to kill the other 49, that's not going to be allowed. Sorry, that's not blind democracy. What we have is a constitutional republic where the laws need to apply to every single person, whether he's self-proclaimed elite down to the poorest person on the street. You cannot do XYZ to these people just because of their social status. That is not American. If you have that in your mindset, you are not American. You need to go back and ask yourself, are you a patriot, fascist, and experimenting on other human beings, or bullying them, or denying them equal protection under the law, Mr. Policeman? That is not American. That is not an American concept. So I would say, instead of telling people to get out of the police or get out of the military, you go back and you study what it is that you're supposed to be and change it from within. You get group studies in your homes, or you band with like-minded people, and maybe even, have a lawsuit saying, this is not constitutional for us to be sitting here with drones hitting people as they drive along the highway who've done nothing in the world wrong to the country. So we do need people on the inside to change it from the inside, because frankly, if we abandon these things, then only the evil people will stay there. Only the evil people, the evil police will exist. Only the evil military will exist. And like I said, I come from an Air Force family. My father trying to do well for the country. And frankly, on the occasion he was given an order to do something that he himself disagreed with, he found a way to not do it. He found a way to do something else, or skirt that, or just plain stand up to the person saying that's not really legal. Okay? So at one point in time, I've told the story, he was given a handful of pills, and his commanding officer said, I want you to take them and report back as to what their effects are during the next week. Are they, sir? And he said, it's none of your business. Just take them and tell us what happens. All right, this is a man dedicated to his country and the Air Force. He went straight away and flushed them down the toilet. And he came back, and when his commanding officer said, what kind of effect did they have on you? He said, none whatsoever, sir. Okay, there are ways to follow your conscience, okay? And your country needs you to follow your conscience, okay? Our founding father said our greatest strength is in our people. you know, knowing what is right and wrong and making sure that is what is preeminent. And that's what I'm asking you to do. An American is, and see if you don't agree. That's what your life needs to go toward, and not just blind obedience. That is not American. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. That was great.